Hey guys, real excited to show you these two new Prophet 5 ambient pad drones. So the one on the left was created from the main pad that was used on Hillsong United's Oceans, and the one on the right is the Prophet 5 ambient pad drone that has a bit more motion in it. The Prophet 5 low pass filter is slowly opening up and closing and giving you a lot more movement in your pad. If you're looking for the playable versions of the Prophet 5 keyboard that these pads were created from, go onto Multitracks and check out the Pro 5 collection. It's in a bunch of different formats, but we are working on getting it into other formats like Nord and Ableton as well. Okay, so let's show you what's included in this product. So apart from the playback version that will show up in the playback app if you purchase it, we've got 10-minute audio files in WAV and M4A versions. There's 4 versions of every single pad. The Ocean 1 version is a 151 Oceans pad. 2 is the 151 Oceans pad, but with more octave shimmer added to it. And these two ones have a lower octave added as well. So for practical purposes, I prefer using the one without the low octave if I'm changing chords. Like if I'm using it for a bed over a whole song, I would choose the one without the low octaves. But if I'm using it for a transition between two songs and I want to hear that big low end, the one with the low at the end of the name with a low octave is obviously better for that. So in addition to the 10-minute version, I've also included 1-minute loopable versions. These loop perfectly without having to use any type of crossfade or editing. You can literally just copy the same thing over and over again and get a pad lasting as long as you want with no clicks or pops. So that's a good little added bonus that I wanted to include in these versions. On top of that, there's obviously the bonus Mainstage template. So I'll open up that and show you how that sounds. If you do want to hear all the individual audio examples, just go onto Multitracks and all of those ones are up there. So for this bonus Mainstage template, I use the 1-minute loopable audio files inside the EXS24 player instead of those 10-12-minute audio files. I think it works better this way. It means the pads won't drop out after the audio file runs out. They'll just keep looping indefinitely. It doesn't take up as much hard drive space. And there's a few little bonus things that I could add because of this. We've got an octave button which pitches all of the ambient drones up an octave. When you transition from one key to another, it's not going to cut out the first key. It's going to slowly fade out the first key and fade in the second key. So it's a lot smoother doing it this way. It also is a lot easier to edit stuff. So for example, if you wanted to have a song where you wanted a low and a high drone, you could actually go in here, edit one of the drones, let's say C, and pitch it up an octave and have one of them down an octave and one of them up an octave, because I'm using actually 2 ambient drones here. So I'm not going to save that, but it's really easy to edit things and customize the template with a new format that it's in. Okay, so let's show you what it sounds like inside the Mainstage template. I've turned off the additional shimmer to give you the raw sound. I'll turn off the motion too, so I'm not adding anything to the audio files. And I'll start from the left and go to right. So the first version's actually a motionless ambient pad, and the other one all the way to the right has motion in it. So I wanted to do 2 different versions, one with and one without, so you could blend the 2 depending on how much kind of motion you wanted. And it also gives you a lot more room for dynamics with this ambient pad drone. So that's what it sounds like. Obviously you've got control over your low, mid, high EQ settings. You can add extra shimmer to that. You can add motion to have it panning left and right. You've got a pulse button, but that's basically how the pad sounds. The great thing about it being in the EXS24 player as well is you can adjust the release and the attack time. So if you want it to have a faster or slower fade in or faster or slower release, that's easy to do inside the EXS24 player for both of those. So I'm going to switch to the Oceans version now and show you how that one sounds. So in this version I added a piano so I can play along and show you how it works with the piano, but I'll show you it dry without any effects, no EQ, no shimmer, just so you can hear the raw tone. So to finish off with, I'm going to play some piano to the Ambient Pad Drone. What I'm going to do is carve out some of the low end so it doesn't clash with the low end of the piano, take a bit of the high off, going to add some motion so it's slowly panning left and right, and go from there.